Okay. What I want you to do is just where and when were you born, and then what was the earliest thing you can remember?
I was born at Bearden in 1912, November the 20th. And we moved to 3 miles north of Fordyce. And that's where I was till I was 4, and I moved closer to Fordyce and moved back out there till we built a new house out there. And Uncle Lewis stayed with us, Uncle Lewis Hillman. He was supposed to go to the Army. One morning he was sleeping late because he was going that morning. All hell broke loose. Telephones were ringing, and they tied down that big sawmill whistle, blowed it, and shake the house there 3 miles from it. It just vibrated the house. And went to the phone to see what it was, and it said World War II was over with.
World
War I.
Okay. One. Okay.
And me and May jumped on Uncle Lewis. It raised Cain, telling him he ain't got to go to Gore and all this, and he wasn't going. And he got mad because he didn't get to go. Anyhow, we messed around there and aggravated him all the time. Stayed there and lived there until I started going to school when I was 7 years old. And went to school, Beach Grove. The first day, recess in evening was a recess. But when we got a recess, middle of the evening like you would in any other school, me and another boy decided we'd go play in the branch. And they couldn't find us. We was down there all evening playing that branch. Anyhow, got in things there. I made it there, and I went on down to south of Fordyce then, Chambersville. I was at school there nearly a year. And all the time, I was gradually learning up and made it back up towards Fordyce. I mean, Little Rock from Fordyce. And we lived there till I was 10 years old. I was 7 when I went up there. And lived there. Always went to school, played it called Pine Crest when I left there. It was number 10 when I went there, but they named it over to Pine Crest. And May and me both going to school at the same time. That's why I was out so long getting in school at 7 years old. And they put me in a higher grade at 2 classes, high grade and a low grade first. And Mama come to school and talked to the teacher. Didn't want me and us to be separated. And took me out of that grade and put me back in the low one. Right then when I lost out. I didn't ever grow that grade no more. I didn't have to go to look at the book. But it was so easy. And she just barely made it till she was in 8th grade, as far as she ever made it. But we moved from there down to Ouachita, Arkansas, and had a meal down there on Tudor Creek. That summer when we moved down there, I worked at the mill all summer for 2 bits an hour. That'd be 2 bits a day, 25 cents a day. And when school started, I went to start school, went to Ouachita, then went to Cox's Ridge, and back to Ouachita. Then I went to Sparkman, and stayed there till I was 3 years, grade 3, I believe, when I lived there. And then I moved down close to Magnolia. I might leave off something right there.
Okay.
But we went to the old school out there, whole time, and went to Walkerville. Stayed there 1 semester. Then we moved to Swang Hill. And we stayed there about 3 years. I didn't know I liked it real well. And moved to Minden. It wasn't too bad. And had 2 years in Minden. Then I went to northern part of Natchez Parish. So, I don't even know where I was.
You've been so many places, I don't think I could keep up with it.
Oh, anyhow, I can't think what it was. I know it was anything, but I can't tell you. But that stayed there until I was ready to finish. But had some bad home times in them times then. And I went home. I was staying on Uncle Lewis. And I went home, and that I told you about that bank holiday coming on. When money come on, nobody, don't matter how much money they had in the bank, they couldn't get a dime. And I went home, and Papa and Jeff Dowes, my brother-in-law, and Tuck Grace had been running the shingle mill, but they couldn't get the money, so Tuck took off. He's going bumming. Well, they couldn't work by themselves. They got a chance to sell them shingles, to trade them for anything you could get in the store. The guy didn't have no money, they didn't have no coming, but he had a lot of stuff in his store. And we could swap shingles for that. So I just stayed there. I didn't ever go back to school. As far as I know, right now, my school books are still in Ashland School. That's where we're talking about a while ago, down in Natchez Parish.
You made it until your senior year?
Yeah, just like about 4 months. And I had never graded. I'd never been asked for one time, and it was that was all right. I worked all over this country, just all around here. I drove trucks, hauled logs, and gravel. And then one time, though, I went down to Harmony Grove. I didn't ever go to school there. But we were there on Sunday, and they had I don't know, some kind to do. Anyhow, a pretty girl come out on the stage, sang a song, and I was with another girl, and with 2 girls and another boy. Yes. We had some girls. And I told them right then, I'm going to marry that girl. They said, "You crazy, you don't even know her name." I said, "All right, I don't care." And I didn't know what I was going to do, but I was setting my mind on it. And I'm leaving up some things that you don't need. I don't reckon about that damn. You don't need all that about that bank, do you?
Well, I mean, if it's something you want to talk about, go ahead.
I'll tell you something, try to fill up the paper.
Oh, go. I mean, the stories you were telling me earlier about the bank holiday were interesting. I mean, if you don't mind telling them again, I don't mind listening.
Well, whenever when we moved home, no, it wasn't before we left down there. But we done moved to Ashland, and they declared that bank holiday, and we couldn't get any money if we had any, but we was working for people that had money, and we couldn't get a dime because they couldn't. But one guy agreed to take care of us, to make him some 3x3s in length. I'd gone to make spin off and cut off plugs going in wrapping paper. And that we worked on that a long time. He finally shut it down, and then that's when we went to making shingles. And I better leave out about me saying what I did about it, because that might get kind of tricky.
Okay.
Although he had his shorts on whenever he come in, he wasn't naked. He'd come in there and picked up his money and showed me 12 $100 bills.
Mhm.
And that was when your money, well, nobody had any money. You just had to have that when the banks closed up.
Mhm.
And I told him, I said, there's many people as is around here, and many people need it. People would knock you in a minute for a nickel for just a minute, for they want them $100 bills.
Mhm.
But he said, well, nobody gonna bother me. He said, don't nobody I know I got that, but you, and you not gonna bother me. I said, well, no, you're right. I'm not gonna bother you.
Mhm.
But I said, there's a lot of people that find out that somebody would knock you in the head. And that's about all heavily. Well, I carried him on Shreveport and back. But I stayed at Shreveport that night. He did too. He paid for me a room and fed me. I ate hamburgers. He said, you gonna run your your stomach
Mhm.
eating them hamburgers.
Mhm.
I said, well, that's what I like.
Mhm.
And I guess I ain't never heard it because I ain't had no trouble.
Could you tell the one about going to town to cash a check?
Oh,
And
that's
they
coming
knew-
on. That's later on up time. That's same about a year ago. After that, maybe.
Mhm.
Well, they couldn't do anything to do with the bank deal and everything closed down or shut down, and we decided to move it to Arkansas.
Mhm.
Me and Jeff Dawes. I took off first with that wagon behind me,
Mhm.
and all the iron I could haul of that meal, and loaded. Got too hot and brushed the head on the tractor.
Mhm.
Took the head off, carried it to Minden, and of course still no money again. I had a set of taps and dies that he wanted. Dies had a set, and he fixed it, braided it, and mounted and kind of everything, made it ready to work. And I went back about a week later. Me and Jeff went back up to it, and before we left, we took everything we had into the sawmill on my T-model Ford truck. No cab, just the old truck,
Mhm.
T-model. We got up there and put that head on that tractor, and everything ready to roll, and we took off. Out there at the state line between Walkerville and Minden. And as we went up that road, we get on places where that old tractor didn't have no cleats on it, we done been took off, so we just mashed on the road. And it'd get in places where it wouldn't pull that wagon and that truck both behind them. I had a cable behind it. But when that happened, I'd drive up behind and hook on it when I could, and when he couldn't, I had to pull myself. I only had 5 gallons of gasoline with us tall. We had to have that for cranking purposes, run distance, but we had to use gasoline to crank it on. And we come on out to Magnolia, went around the A&M school, coming a curve like this, and I was looking, waiting for him down there to tie on to him. I noticed the wagon was behind him. We got back far against the wall behind him. But he had a tongue stood up hard like that on a spring back here. And I pointed that way, and he looked back and saw it. And he knew he didn't want that thing gouging him. He was afraid it was going to run into him. So he stood up on the seat, that he'd go on the seat, and he guided. He didn't let it fall in. He guided one hand and used brake on the other and keep up working back, and then catching up a little bit. He'd come in there in a triangle like that. And we hooked in, and he just right to get in there. And we got a new bolt dock, and we lost the boat. Had a hole in the tongue. Dropped the bolt in there. We were on our way. We got near to McNeil, and I was ahead of him then. I stopped and was talking to him about what we was going to have to eat. It's getting close to night. We knew we had to have some supper somewhere. And I told him, I said, well, I've got a quarter. He said, I ain't got a damn penny. I said, well, what can we buy with a quarter? we talked about it a little bit and decided we'd get us a dozen eggs for a dime at that time. Loaf of bread was a dime. That made us, that got 20 months in. I said, well, we can't eat without some salt on them eggs. So we bought a nickel box of salt. And we got on up this side of McNeil, and we come around this curve, and there was a big old tree out there. And we stopped and asked that man, could I pull on that tree? Could we stay out there on that tree? He said, yeah. We pulled out there and built us up a fire. And we done cooked them eggs and eat two apiece and some bread. We doing pretty good on them. And that old man lived there, come out there, and I had a big old heavy old coat Papa bought in Detroit. You know, it was that thick. But Jeff didn't have nothing heavy like that. But that old man come out there and he called him son. Said, son, if you want it, you can use that tarp laying down on my porch. The dogs have been sleeping on it, but you can shake it and it'll be clean. As far as a spark will be, he said, hey, you don't trips. And he got that and rolled up in it. He said, now you keep the fire up. But he had something to keep him warm. But we both went to sleep. And the next morning we get that back and we got on the road. We were coming on up the road pretty good and got up Buena Vista. Pulled in up there at the well. He said, I said, as I was thirsty, he said, I was starving. I said, I'm starving for something to eat too. He said, I never was so hungry in my life. I said, just a minute. And I went in the store. You know what I was going to do? I had a tobacco sack with some pennies. If that girl that went with down there, give me them and told me to take them with me. And I told her, no, I'd give them to her. I didn't want to take them. She said, you take them pennies, you may need them. I went and poured them out on that counter, and it was 26. I got 2 cans of plate meat, 2 big oranges, as big as drink they had them days, and a tube of crackers, just a little square like that is now. And we had half them crackers and had a can of plate meat apiece and a Coke, orange. Oh, he said, I never ate anything so good in my life. I said, I didn't eat it. I was hungry and he was starving. We made the camp, come on through, and when we started down the hill, it was an old brick road then, come down the river. And I was behind him, where I could watch him. But that old tractor lose a little oil all the time out where the brake was on the same thing with the pulley to pull the sawmill with. And I could see it was fixing to blaze up. It was smoking big. And every time he pulled the brake, he'd go smoking. He'd train loose, he'd run too fast, he'd have to take back some more. Going down the hill, and that wagon load of machinery was running too fast. And he finally got to blazing. He stood up in that seat like he did down in Magnolia. And it burned. It didn't get too hot to stay on top of the seat. He'd ought to have, but it's to one side and it's to one side. And we turned that key at the bottom of that circle down to the riverbank and stopped, got everything lined up again. And we crossed the river bridge. It's a lot lower than it is now. It was not near as high. It come down and up other ways. It's a low bridge. And when we got to the other side and turned this way, met Papa and Uncle Harvey on that T model, on the A model. And they said something about to us, and I said, don't ask no questions. I'm hungry and starving, both of us starving to death. Said, you got any money? Neither one of them didn't have any money. He said, we got the back of that A model full of ham load, going to try to book peddle for 5 cents an hour, a pound for them hams. Well, we couldn't do anything. He said, y'all just keep going. And we got on our way, turned to go to Harmony Grove or north, either one. We turned to left. And just after we curved that curve, they come up behind us. We stopped. And they brought us a hamburger apiece. Boy, they wasn't never no better than them hamburgers wasn't no better than that plate meat was. It was all good, but we said, well, we'll make it. So we made it home that night. Put that thing to barn, 2 days on the road. Well, people ain't had many not except something like that. But moved on, everything worked up. We got talking, and one day we decided we could go get some cypress logs out of the creek, old dead ones. Went down and cut them in the water like this with one handle cross cuts, and floated them down the creek. Coley Walker and me had to paddle the boat. And we'd every time someone come by there, we'd hook onto it and go down and pull it down there. It was up about that deep where we put the logs. But we knew it would, when it run down, it'd be level. We pull them in there. We rode from there out to the high level, about a half a mile. So all of that our advantage right there. So we pulled up there and drive a nail in the log and put some wire and tie it to a tree. Go back and get another. In time that when the tree went down, we wasn't many trees up in that broad road, that creek get filled in cypress. And we got started and cut them things up, ended up selling them to them people I was telling you up here at Eagle Mills that can't even think their name right now. But they had one of them was a postmaster and the other mail carrier. And they bought them shingles for $100. And they stacked up out there on the highway. And we got them in that night one night after we'd done that, heard somebody hollering up at the fence. The fence across the road, we'd built a new road around it. And they didn't know where they could go. Papa said, go up and see that other hollering. I went up there and it was Burdine, Minden. And I had worked for him in a peanut butter, and they'd pick up patties. And had them in town to eat them I wanted. And they wanted to buy them shingles. They come with a truck and trailer. And well, there we was. We done a bunch of money for them. We still had them. Papa and Uncle Harvey went to beer to Eagle Mill and talked to them people that owned it. They ever done bought the shingles. Made agreement to us cut him some more shingles and sold them a second time. And I took Burdine pay us in cash, but the people over there at the post office would give us a check. Papa told me to take the check to town and get the check cashed. I went to town and carried it in. They looked at it and they knew the check, said know who it is and whose check it's on, but I don't know you. See, could I have anybody could prove to be telling who I was. So I went over to work store where the guy working over a hardware store. And he knew me. And he told me, I told him what I wanted. He said, well, I can beat that. I said, I'll just give you the $100 for it. So I can put it in there with my night deposit. But I haven't got much deposit tonight no now. Put that in there. And then take care of the money. Instead he took in. Said he had took $100 since he deposited. That got us back on and going. From that, we kept building up on the sawmill and got into hickory, cutting hickory. A guy come from Texas, wanted a train car, gondola, full of cypress knees. He said he'd build a playhouse, or I guess you'd call it a playhouse. dance hall and everything with it. And Papa took the whole crew car and got throwing them down. I had a truck, had the same old T-model truck.
Yeah.
And hauled them things out there and loaded them in a gondola. Whole dang bunch of them. And give us about 2 weeks more working right there. Well, that got paid off. Just things like that worked on up. And wasn't long after that I went to Harmony Grove. That's when I'm talking about meeting her down there. I mean, seeing her. I didn't meet her. It was after that before I met her. I talked to another girl that I knew pretty well, and got her to make me a date with her. She tried to push my damn truck, Papa's pickup door, tried to push it off.
What do you mean she tried to push it off?
Oh boy, she's bad about that. And it took me about 2 or 3 months to ever get her tamed down. She was a wild woman. But from that, I don't know, I mean, when I got her in Notion, we got married. And the time we got married, I had a V8 truck with him. And I had a bunch, I fell off of it and didn't bust my hip, didn't broke it. But I couldn't walk on it. And all the week I went down to her house talking her up. And I believe it was on Thursday or Friday. We was parked out. I said, when are we going to get married? She said, oh, I don't know. You know, give me a run around as usual. And I said, oh, hell, I don't want to wait that long. She said, Saturday night if you want me to. So I did. I come by her house on Saturday in Cody Walker's A-model car. And let some other brother carry my truck to Camden and straighten the fenders, which I'd done every Saturday. Have them roll them out. And of course I'd bend them up there in them woods. And the next day, I wanted to come by there. She didn't tell nobody we was going, but her sister didn't tell her till we started to leave. But we started the house, before we got down the road up there where they lived. I told her sister Marjorie, I said, Marjorie, I'm going to be your brother in less than an hour. She said, went squalling. And I come in laughing. But during the meantime, I went to Camden and got the license and was where I was getting my truck worked on. And said something about it, had my license in, didn't have to wait then if you get your license. And there was a guy in there, I didn't know who he was. I can't think of his name right now. But he said, where are you going to get married? I said, I don't know, we haven't got any place yet, we'll find a place. He said, let me tie it up. Come to find out he was a
Justice of the Peace. With Justice of the Peace?
Yeah. And we went out there, went back, me and Cody went back and got Marjorie and Anita. And that's when we went to town. And I can't think of older people in it, but a kid, he was 12 years old, I guess. And done. And I got to trade, bought all the oil and stuff we need for him for this oil mill. And we went to his house and asked him where that dry guy lived. That little boy said, I'll go where you and show you. So he stood on the fender of that A-model and went up there, and we went in, got the knot tied, and went back, carried him back, and he run in the house when he got home, and his daddy told me later that he'd come in out of breath. Said, you know what them people wanted? Said, they want to get married. He thought that was something big. And we went on out to her mother's. She didn't ever, I guess she went in the house too, but I didn't. She went in the house and got, I don't know how much clothes, she didn't have much. She probably, shoebox, in a shoebox. And we went back down there then the next week. And I'd haul logs in the daytime when I got out where I could walk again, which wasn't very long. And we went to her daddy's, her mother's, and her mother chewed her up. And she eat me out. Said, if you let me know what she's going to do, I'd have bought her some clothes. I said, I didn't marry the girl for clothes. I bought her because married her because I wanted her. And she did like me on account of that. But that, not too bad. She wasn't too bad on me. But me and her daddy got along real good, as long as he lived. But we do a lot of things. What with Papa for that sawmill for 2 years, and just before Scoot was born, I got a job with a sawmill keeping up trucks. Worked there 6 months and decided I was making too darn much money. As one of my cousins, he decided I was making too much money, so he's going to stop us from doing outside work. See, I was keeping up with his trucks, and he had some people hauling logs with trucks, and I was keeping them trucks up too, day and night, and was making about, I suspect, close to $40 a week. Boy, that was money at the end of the day.
What year was that?
37.
37. Okay.
That's when Scoot was born.
Okay.
Just before he was born. And they prayed to him. In other words, he didn't decide to shut it down until Butch or Scoot was a new baby. And we come back home then, and I went to work just where I found all being around. I worked Milam, and I went back to Sparkman, put in a shop, and went broke. From another guy and worked around another shop right by it, and saw how he was making it. Went back and opened that same shop again, and done it again. Stayed there, and he was walking pretty good size, good kid. And come back home and built me a shop of my own. No, I didn't. I went to Chevrolet plate. And Sharon was born. And then I went back up there. And I had this same house. We stayed there a while. I tore it down and carried it up there to where John lives. Built it up there. And then say I don't ever since. You gonna tell him anything?
No, you talking?
He wants to know what you had to say. Tell him some tough stuff about you can remember about what we done. He could get his money
Well,
too.
you didn't tell him about our first house being a pigsty.
Well, that wasn't a house. We went up on the river. Butch O's was sawmill, and both Sparkman. And we across the ferry and then turned up the Creek River. And me and Fred Brazil took slabs and culled lumber and made a hog pen, and just big enough for the bed. It was about that high, so we didn't want no dog, no hog to come and fool around. And some shells to put our food in. We cooked outside. But we only stayed there about 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know how long it was, very long. But we had a road that come right out through the woods and come out to, up there on, what's the name of that town up around here? Where's it, what's the name of that town? Where we carried the lumber to?
Wheeling Spring?
Wheeling Springs, up there close to where Janet works. And I hauled the stuff out there. That's what I done there. Went through the woods. If I didn't, I'd go down this way 5 miles. Then go about 2 miles out this way, and then go back again at 5. And Papa went out there cool and cut me a road right up beside the bank of that December Creek. And I hauled out that way. And
I'm quite sure he told you about during that bank holiday, they sent him to town to get a check cash.
I told him all that just a while ago.
Yeah, he took care of that one. I want him to tell, what was it? He was telling one earlier. Was it you were working on the sawmill and you found a mouse? Was that about this time, or was it later, or?
A mouse.
You found a mouse and there
Oh.
was...
No, I wasn't working sawmill. We was picking up stuff. That's working when working for King.
What year was that?
It's same year was is that I guess 31.
Okay.
Some 30 or 31. Still
Mhm.
doing that work. That's what same we weren't making no money with that thing. And King I was telling you about Baptist.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, Papa had us picking up some of them laid down there, just laid down there, and he wanted to stack them up so they'd dry a little.
Mm-hmm.
And that nigger named Andrew Day, and he didn't know him, but she heard of him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, we was all out there picking up them things, and nigger took off his shirt. And it's hot, getting warm weather. He didn't have any clothes, but just a pair of overalls, a shirt, and shoes. And he's getting sweating pretty bad on the back. I could tell on his shield, big back over overall. That's when he first got come out. Hey, all those boys want him shield back overall.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up a little rat with down there and uncovered. I just told him like that. He was so cold he couldn't move. Put him in my hand, didn't mash him. And I woke over to old Andrew. And, hey, Day, are you getting hot? You getting hard, ain't you? He said, yeah. I said, turn me see how we could get him wet on the back. And he wheeled around to show me you're sweating. I just caught his toe like that, dropped it right in there. And you know how niggers always wear the big, heavy clothes, big too big. Dropped it down and hit him right in the seat. He hollered and come out, just done that way, lifted them two niggers and jumped clam out of them. And he didn't have on, but he left his shoes already off, and his shirt off, and jumped out them overalls he was in. Next he was the day he was born. Yeah, I think he done got some laughing about there.
I thought that one was pretty funny.
Yeah, you can think of that. Just think about him jumping out of a whole bunch of us out there working together. We just had a big laugh at him. He got killed later. I heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
Run the same kind of sawmill. We cut that on what we called a bar saw to cut them up, and a rip saw to make them 4x4.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them that rip saw got the saw and went back and hit him in the chest, killed him.
Mm.
They were dangerous. The ones we had, Pop would put safety things on them, but who was working with him just put an open saw, and he caught it and come back. That was a good nigger. He had a cousin. I was hauling this stuff then with that truck I used down there, and hauled him stuff out over at the railroad and unloading and stacked that stuff there, and loading and send a car when we got enough out there at the end of the railroad, our railroad, we had a railroad to Minden. We wasn't using it anymore. But we used it when we needed it. And they brought a box car up there, and there was a bunch of them was up there and putting them in a car. And then the black nigger sassed me. I told him, don't do that anymore. I said, I'll knock you in the head or something. He said, nah, you won't do nothing, you ought to say it. I let him have it. I knocked him down with a 1 1/4 by 2 1/2, 36 inches long. I hit him side of the head and knocked him down. I told him, and called him Black Boy. I told him, you better go a bucket of water and pour it on that damn nigga, he's gonna die. I said, let him die, he had no business sassing you. Anyhow, he got him roused up. And I asked him if he gonna sass me again. I said, no, sir, boss, no, sir. He didn't want no more of that stick I had. But I always love things like that.
What, you said you went to work, you went to work for a man named Burdine, making peanut patties or peanut brittle or something?
That's the guy that come at the Shangles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was had a cooking room in Minden.
Mm-hmm.
I done anything there. I went to school there all that time, and when there wasn't no school, I was hunting for something to do. So, yeah, Burdine, name. He's the one that come up there and get the shingles. Jewell Horton, boy that I knew real well, come with him to show me where I lived, because he had been there. And we had buddies up there where we had the meal too.
Have you ever heard him tell about the time they were hauling spokes, wooden spokes?
I don't think so.
And there was a bunch of them on the truck. Coleman Walker,
Oh, you're getting it all tangled up.
Donald. Anyway, Coley needed to stop, take a rest. And they told him no, they weren't going to stop. They had to keep driving. Told him get back behind the seat.
They had a cab on that one.
And he squatted down over the drive shaft.
Yeah, he didn't right up here right over us.
And it slung it all over him.
We was driving about 40, 50 mile an hour up here. We on up close. We went slam up the northern part of the state, carrying some lumber. And Cody, we just slowed down. He's going to walk up in and run on there. Said, lean back in lumber, and just let it go. He slung it all over him. We made him take a bath then, because we couldn't wash his clothes. So we wouldn't let him ride with us. We'd have been a lot better off to let him off. But we was all into something then. We were going that same trip, going up the road, and there's some nigger women across a bar pit, sitting out there fishing. And old Cody's on that side, and I was in the middle. Donald was driving. That Donald's truck then, that's when he had a Raz bought him. And that big old nigger woman, she must have weighed 250, 300 pounds. Sitting over there, and he said, Jake, and when he did, she done that on him. You know, people will. If you somebody holler you at a pole, and you holler, Jake, boy, you'll start to do it like that. Well, he did. And she rolled over and patted her rear on the back. It's Heidi. And in other words, kissed my rear. And he wouldn't let me out on beat hell out of a woman. I said, no, head, you ain't. You ain't gonna bother at all. I said, she ought to killed you for you doing that. And he's gonna get out and go whip her. He's across the bar pit. He could have got over there nowhere. But he didn't want to tell nobody what he done about that. But we done a lot of things like that. That was the time he was me married. And I went with him.
You stayed doing, you were around sawmills from probably as far back as you can remember up until when after y'all got married?
Well, yeah.
I mean because you started doing mechanic work sometime after you got married, right? Or were you doing that all along?
I started mechanicking when I was 7 years old. Papa took a T-model motor out. Took everything out, just put the block up there on the table. Told me to get up there, and I could set a straddle it with a little old thing like a braking bit, like could go about 5, 6 one way and about that much other. Had forks down here to get the top of that to turn it one way and the other. And we put grinding compound on the valve and drop it in the hole in the stem. He told me to keep grinding one until I got it where it had a good smooth mark all the way around and it to blockhead it in there. And then it moves to the next one. And then on top of that, when I done got that done, he gave me an old case knife, turned that motor over, and hooked them springs all up on them valves, and laid on the side where I could get to it. And Pat told me to put a knife through either one of them valves, and if I found one anywhere it touched, grind some more. If it was ground enough, if it ground too much, it was end up too tight to find off till that knife just fit under. And if I got it too loose, I had to grind them down a little bit more. That's how we fixed the valve like we would, just like it would right now, except you got all this modern stuff to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And when we went to Sparkman then, we went to school, and we worked the evenings, days, all the time, and took me us born the same day. And Papa got us out of school 3 weeks before school was out to work at the mill. And we were stacking spokes, automobile wooden spoke things to make them out of it, mm-hmm. Blanks. And for 2 bits a day. I guess right at 12 years old then. Well, I'd have been after I was 12. Anyhow, he had a 24 Ford, which you know, sometimes they would always hit a dates.
Mm-hmm.
But one morning we worked that way till me and him got us some bicycles.
Mm-hmm.
And the first long breeches I ever wore, I bought right there. But then on knee breeches.
Mm-hmm.
Boys all wore knee breeches then. Papa and Mama went to some store somewhere, I think Arkadelphia, and they bought me a pair of knee pants. It was sure enough good, and they cost $5 or $6. Mm-hmm. Them days that was a lot. But see, they like bulls back then. Mm-hmm. And clench right here and then make it laugh loud now. Mm-hmm. I never wore them but one time. And when I got the money to boat that bicycle, I had to hit it first. Mm-hmm. Then I bought me a pair of khaki pants. Mm-hmm. 30-30. 30 here and 30 me. Mm-hmm. That's how big I was at that time. And I like to wear them things out with an arm. It wasn't hot. Mm-hmm. Just using an arm. I'd wear them a while, then I'd go rest them a while. Mm-hmm. And Mama and them were all gone somewhere, and I'd go in there and press them things and wear them again, get them back on. Oh, I would thought I was something. Yellow khaki, you know. Mm-hmm. But Papa come up there one night, one morning. And I suppose been done going to mill, I guess, but he always went down there first and got everything ready before it cranked up. And I didn't have to be down there, and he got cranked up. And he running with a steam boiler then. And had to get the steam up and everything started. And he come up there with 2 5-gallon cans in his hand. Told me to get in that car and go to Sparkman and get me a can of castor machine oil and 1 engine oil. I didn't know which I needed. He told me where to go get it. Tell him what I wanted. And I had never drove a car but one time before that. As far as he knew. Mm-hmm. I had drove, but he didn't know it. Mm-hmm. On the Saturday before this happened, we was going on to Joe was on over from there in Cleveland County, and was a house where a girl that had picked with me all the time about that being my girl, mm-hmm. Hazel Mosley. Mm-hmm. And when I got in front of their house, well, I was driving. Mama was trying to drive. She never learned to drive, but I was all the time sitting in the back saying, Papa, let me drive. Papa, let me drive. And he got about half a mile from there, maybe a mile, and stopped and let Mama get out. And he crawled out over it. No, Mama didn't get a seat out. He the one got out and get under on the wheel. There wasn't no door on that side when I moved him off. He crawled over the door and got out and said, all right, damn it, drive. He was mad at her. Well, he didn't care if I did wreck it. But them days, you go on one of them old hill there, and there's ravines over here, and ditches on the other side, and you just got along any way you could, just like a wagon. Maybe worse than a wagon. Anyhow, I got right in front of that girl's house, and there was a mud hole, and it had some boards in there. And I slipped off them boards. And just the back wheel slid off. And he ragged me the rest of the day about it. I'd been all right if I hadn't been trying to smart out in front of that girl's house. And I don't know whatever from her. They picked me so much. So, you know, when you get to where you might like somebody, but you never would let nobody know it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was a pretty nice little girl. She's all right. She just played with me, and I played with her at school. But they ragged me all the time. And I got in that T-model that next Monday when we got back home. He come for them cans. Told me to get in that T-model and go to our car. He didn't say T-model because that's all it was. And told me to go get some oil. I knew where we got it. And I went up there and pulled up there. Frank Russell and his brother Phil, I both died since we've been here at the county. And he got me my oil. And I had him make a ticket on it. Papa paid him on payday. And that's where they worked. And he put in the car. And I don't know if I could handle them 5-gallon cans. I guess I could have rotted some of them, but he stayed in there. I got in that thing and I'd kill it and started to back out, and was a wagon as far as from here to Butch's house, coming up that road, up that street. Farmer didn't want a road then where it's a street. It was a road like that, just rough. And every time I'd start to get a crank and look back, I don't know how, but I'd choke it down every time. I was afraid I was going to run in front of that wagon. And old Frank come out there and said, what's the matter? Top water? Can't you get in the road? I said, no, I guess I can. He said, let me get in. He got in and squared it around, got me heated out the right way. And you know, as long as he lived, he was not any bigger than you are. And he called me top water. As long as I lived. So I was probably longer than him. But as long as he lived, he still called me top water everywhere he saw me. Did a little thing like that. I don't think of very often, but I think of once in a while. I told you about my pocket knife, didn't I?
I don't remember.
We went to Fordyce. We lived over at Fordyce over there. And we went to town. Just him and me and somebody else was there, but me and him I went to town with him. He's sitting in a bench. I was sitting right in front of that bench the other day with Anita sitting up there. Her and Andy up here. Had bought some stuff there, and I sat out there in the car, and I was thinking about that old still got that old bench out there. I thought about it. But I begged for an hour for her to give me that quarter to get me a knife. They had a one-bladed Barlow knife, but I went bad. Finally, he said, well, here, take this quarter and go on and forget it. That's what you got to have. I went in and gave him my quarter and got my knife. Come back and opened it, was messing with it. I don't know what I was doing, but I dropped it. Old punt knife made out of no good stuff. That thing blade broke off it like that. I ain't had no quarter, I didn't have no knife either. Thing like that to me all the time. But I've walked from up there where we, now it's only about, maybe 2 miles, 3 from where we live. But the road went up to where I was talking about going to school and then going this way. And it made about a 6-mile walk. Mama give me some change, I don't know how much, to buy me something. If I would walk up there and get her some thread. And I walked that 6 miles and back. And I guess I had something at dinner because I found it was too far. I couldn't have made her had both of them in one half a day. So I guess I ate part of that money up front. But she gave me that money. And after I would come to Ouachita, I went to Cox's Ridge, and we lived there in what we called the Ouachita house. I noticed the other day it looked like it wasn't even there anymore. But it's just, it has. I just saw it the other day. And we went down there, and they just had one room, one teacher. And I don't know what I done, but I sassed her. And when I did, she made me go out there and lay under a little tree in the shade. I said, don't come back now till it's time to go out. Made me stay all the dang day under that tree.
I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, I didn't saw it. It's answered no more.
Yeah, I guess not.
And but one other time it was raining, getting rain pretty hard, and we were walking from up there where I was talking about on the road going to Spot, and we got in sight of Mama's house. But made up our mind, me and him, and his brother Raymond, and his sister May, and me. Walked through them woods about a mile and a half to Ridge out there. But we got inside the house and made up we'd go back and stay all night. It was raining too hard to get home. We went back home. Of course, we were just wet as they could be, of course. We warmed it, got dry. The sun come out and we dried. But we stayed all night down there with the coldest folks. And of course, it done rained on us. We could have went on back home, but we didn't. Always things like that all the time.
So your first house was the little bitty...
Well, that wasn't even my house. It was just
the
shed. Hog kid, I'd go.
Well, you went from there to... Where'd you go after that?
Moved back and built a little old house about, I think it was 12 by 24. Just a shotgun house with a 10 by 12 room on the back of the kitchen and a 14 room this way. And that was the first place we ever lived where they had mounted anything. Mama gave me my bed, still, and we got a new mattress, I think. I think we bought it. Had a place down here made some mattress. Wasn't that what it was?
No, she gave you the bed, springs, and mattress.
You might give me the whole thing. I thought we got one part of it, but Aunt Ori gave me a little old stove about this big square. It dropped and broke one leg off, and I took 2x4s and made a little thing with some leg joints to hold it up, set it on there. And for an ice box, we dig a hole in the ground and take a quilt, a piece of tarp, anything we get up, put in there and put a block of ice in there and cover it up, put guy milk and stuff in there. That's what we used for that. And we stayed there 2 times. We went to school in the morning. We moved back there. And then I went to work at Camden, and I don't know how I got up there and built that house, this other house. This what I mean when I got now. But I come back up there and went to work for Fancy Lumber Company. And Sharon was born by then. And I working up here, living up here at what we call Star and Store. There used to be a little house there. One of them little about big same house, Homer built. We lived in it a long time. He had his Phoenix house where we lived there. And then we moved back up there at this house. And
You asked about his mechanic, and he did mechanic work on school buses when he's supposed to be going to school.
oh yeah, I done that when I was going to school.
And one of his teachers come out and asked him if he was going to school or was he going to be a mechanic.
And K.D. McCoy, he was a principal. I was a good friend of mine, had a T-model. Of course, that's what he was in them days. I worked on it all day for him. And when time come to take up and let us school, we run up there just in time for the kids was coming out of school. And I got out and raised the hood and was adjusting this thing, a steering gear, what it worked, that thing that turned it here. And Mr. McCoy come out there and walked up where I was working. Said, Ernest, are you going to be a mechanic or are you going to go to school? I said, you see what I'm doing, don't you? He just laughed and turned and walked over. Never said another word. But I got that truck fixed before the kids got loaded up. Oh,
So,
yeah.
It seems I've heard you say Katie McCoy one more time or a time before. There's something about it. I can't remember the story that goes with it.
Was a story about something getting me in trouble?
I'm sure it was.
Well, I had been in Minden, and I went to going where school was, and Ruth was just going to little kid in there, and there was another girl worked for Papa, I remember Daddy did, Scott, and they got in a racket back there, and they had them old trusses. It was a seat here and one over here, just forward. And in the middle they had just ropes, and that they call it roost pole. That's what the school was heading for them, right? And they got in a fuss, and that girl done that way with her fingernail file and stuck Ruth in her nail. And that guy was named Dal. Anything could lay tonight in the wheel in a minute. Dal was his first name, but he dipped snuff all the time. And them girls just hated him. They didn't want to sit by him. He had a seat up there, a good seat for somebody sit up there. Two little people could, but nobody wanted to sit up there. Well, if they got in that Rufus, he told her to come up there and sit for him. I said, no, sir. See, I was a great big boy. And I guess I was 15 or 16 years old, because that's when it all happened that long ago. And he didn't get back and go. When I told him no, if he wanted somebody to sit up there, I'd sit up there with him. He didn't say no more. He just went on. But he went. I come home that night, and Mama got I guess it come by telephone. I don't know if they had telephone in or not, but got word that her stepmother died. And I went and took Papa's car, of course. He don't want to have a car, but I drove it and carried Uncle Lewis and Mama. And I don't know how many kids went, not all of them. May did. She's married then. But we went up there and I got the mumps. Didn't know it. But when I got home next morning, I was swelled up like this. So I didn't go to school that week. Monday morning, next Monday morning, I started to get on the bus. And he said, McDowell, that was his last name. Deb McDowell. And he said, you're going to have to go talk to Mr. Harper, before you can ride the bus again. I went up there and went in, and he wouldn't even let me tell him what happened to him. He wouldn't have nothing to say at all except tell me that I'd done the wrong thing. He chewed me out, and he chewed me out. Finally, he said, ain't but one thing you can do. You'll have to provide your own ride in the school. 12 miles. I had to have some way or not go. I looked him right straight in the eye. I said, I tell you what you do. You take your damn school and go to hell with it. I turned and walked out the door. Whenever I went out in the hall, the door followed me. Glass door. You've heard me tell about that before. I snatched it so hard, the glass just followed me on down there. One had to cut my back. But he didn't. Well, when I went to my Ashland and next year when I went to go to school, and KD was being, I watched for this being hell on me. He watched me all the time. I didn't know why. I didn't see it, know nothing about it. And 3 or 4 of us boys throwing rocks at each other, just like this, trying to skid them to it. And I hit him. Well, he wouldn't have said nothing to him, but I hit him. But I didn't know, he looked at me, and when girls told me come out there and said, Katie's looking for you, you know, when you hit him. I said, I didn't think about hurting him. It did hurt. And yeah, I want to ask him. I told him I don't want to throw that rock. I didn't think it hurt you. He said it didn't, but you might have hurt some of these other kids around here. But I think we better go upstairs. Now you take your meeting. He meant whipping. I don't know what he said now. So I believe it's my medicine. I told him, what did he mean by that? He looked at me and I looked at him and I said, my daddy hadn't whipped me since I was 2 or 3 years before that. He said, well, what did you do if you'd done something wrong? I said, he talked to me pretty rough. But I don't take no whipping off of nobody. See, I was grown then. I was pretty well felt like I could take care of myself. And he said, what did he do when you do something when you ain't supposed to? I said, he talked pretty rough, and I listened. I tried to mind him. I tried to mind him. He said, well, you go ahead, but don't you make another move, or I'll get on to you. And I told him, I said, well, now, let's straighten this thing out. He said, I got the word that you wanted to run things where you was. I said, did you get that word from? He said, E.P. Harper. Minute. I said, that's what I thought. I told him what happened, the whole thing. I said, I didn't do anything where he wouldn't give me no chance at all and wanted to tell me all the things I had to do. I told him the same as I told him to go to hell. That's exactly what he was. He understood that. And I went to school there 2.5 years. And when I left there, I was on as good a his line as I was anybody. He found out that I wasn't trying to do something to Rod I wasn't supposed to. And me and him were real good friends. I'd like to see him. I'm sure he's dead though now. But he was really a good guy. But when I left school, left my books, it was snowing. I didn't stop the last time, but I went down to where we were staying, Uncle Louis and Jack and them. But I come by the next day on Saturday, and I didn't go get my books in my desk. I didn't know I didn't go leaving it. I expect to be back Monday. And that Monday ain't come yet. I walked and slid and skated way up the road, and I met Papa coming down. He was going down to Grant place, to the Grant Montgomery's town. The little town was down there, and we went down and stayed a week and worked. And when we went home was when I told you about the time that the trees fell in front of the car.
I remember part of that one, but not all of it.
Well, Papa had a cloth top touring car, but it come a storm. We was, I guess, 2 or 3 miles from home, between men and where we was living up at Evergreen. And I was driving, and saplings that big around, plenty of them, go slam across the road from over here on the bank. And I'd expect every one of them to hit us, but it kept going up slow and go over everything, choop, choop, choop. And it went on the storm, going down the other side when them trees got where they wasn't. And never one of them touched us, but Papa got scared, jerked the quilt and got down in the floorboard, cover up his head. He said, you just keep going, and I did. I just turned loose and jumped one day after another.
You were talking earlier about bank holidays and whatever. Were you ever involved with any of the New Deal programs like the WPA or the REA or anything like that? Or which ones, and
REA,
what do you remember about it?
REA?
The REA?
Government was building roads.
That was WPA.
WPA,
Okay.
that's what. And I had a truck. I went in and got the job. $6.20 a day for me and a truck. They furnished my gasoline and oil. About the first week, they was about to lay me off because I used so much oil. Well, I went down there where I bought that Model A and made a deal with them on credit, put me a motor in there. Put me a whole motor in it. I had a good truck. And I don't know, I guess I hauled gravel there for 3 or 4 months. I think they paid us every 2 weeks or something like that. Anyhow, I had 9 paydays. And I didn't go to penny. And I was out of money. So I quit. I done owed everybody I could owe. And I knew a fellow named Adkins down there, Bud Adkins, wasn't Adkins' daddy or uncle, I don't know which it was. And one that died at Stevens was good to me, kept me going all the time, and Raz helped me out. I owed everybody in the country. When Raz, I had a Model A Ford, bought the same top I bought one for me, and Cool Mama's car. I ain't told you all about that.
No.
But I was going up to his house or something, and I got out there in front of where you couldn't Joe's keys, where I showed you where they went in and go down where it used to be a road called John's, and right in front of where the jack shaft stripped out. I coasted over the side of the road, walked through the woods over Raz's, asked him if I could buy that, what would I take, what he took for that month. He said $120. But we had took it to town and fixed the spindles, king doors, brakes, things like that, had good shape. And I said, in the meantime, I done got them checks and let him have $60. I knew he'd pay me, because he always did. And when he said take $120, I said, would you take that $60 that you owe me for a down payment? He said, oh yeah. He said, however you want. I said, well, I'll pay you $10 a week, and I will make it $9.20 a week. Figure that out.
Not good math.
Well, I bought it that way. And every day of the week I made it, because when I told him all the rest of the boys I run with, I said, any of you boys want to go anywhere, I'll carry you, I'll let you use my car or something, but you got to pay me, because I got to pay Raz. Well, I guess the last one that I had it until I didn't have the money at all. Dennis going to care his girl he used to marry, Annis, where it was Albert Hope, was his daughter. He was going with her, and he wanted to carry her in that kind of looking good new car. And they had a car without no top on it, no touring car. So he gave me 50 cents, $1, I believe it was 50 cents. If I would drive his car and him drive mine to Ouachita, there's her up there at that show. And well, I done that, and I made money on that. But when we fixed that car to start with, we're going home, and I carried Susie over and stopped at her house and got her. And we got out up the highway because there wasn't much road to get in there, and we walked on in there. And he went on. And I carried her, I don't know whose car, Harvey's, I believe, somebody's. But it might have been it might have been the next day before that truck tore. No, I done got that car. Anyhow, we got Grandpa's little car. I was driving, Donald and from Bacolia, I think, yeah. And we got up there where we go to turn off the poplars instead of going over the apartment. There's Cali in the road. I tried to dodge it, yeah. But whenever I got just right for her, I done went around this way. But she raised up, you know how a cow get up front first? Stuck her head right in front of me like that, get in the car. On head and one light, and it went out. No, it didn't go out. It just went that away. It bent back for shine up the trees. We made it down to the creek. Stopped, straightened it up, and see if we could get it where it could see, and went on. And Cody laughed big. But that is our cow. And we didn't say nothing. We went several days. One day we went out there and a bunch of them been somewhere and come back walking and playing or something. I don't know. Come along without a watermelon patch out across the road from their house. Cody went to laughing. I said, what are you laughing at? I just laughing what Papa did one day about that cow. He found her, said she come home. She bruised up. And said, I didn't say a word about what happened. But I knew what happened, but I didn't tell nobody. And said, she was pretty well bung up. I said, darn you can keep your mouth shut one time. This thing like that all the time was going on. And one night I went to, when I had that car though, when I bought it from Red, I went back and sometime pay him again. I paid him 2 or 3 times. In 1 week we didn't work and I didn't have no money. In the meantime, I done bought a haul some hogs for one guy and hit him, Mr. Gray, the same guy, Mr. Oh hell, I told you a while ago his name, Albert Posey. Mm-hmm. Moved down, I helped him move from on Cox's Bridge. Mm-hmm. And he paid me, and they both of them paid me in hogs. Mm-hmm. I had them running Weir Woods out there where we were living, where this house was. We done moved in this house then. Mm-hmm. And so I told Papa what I was going to do. I said, I'm going to sell them hogs out to Michael Brazil. He said, for how much? I said, for $12. He said, well, just a minute before you do that. He went in the house and asked Mama if she had any money. She said she might just scrape up that much. So he got $12 for her. Well, hell, I took off the rest, gave the last payment on that car, and it was mine. And I had $2 in my hand. I ain't had no hogs. I ain't had no hogs until I needed me to live there a long time. After we married, we moved down there and we in a little house I built right off the bat. But we moved in it and moved out of Tomacoo and then traded. I started a house up there where Papa's place was, but didn't get finished. We just had to live where we were living. And him and Papa got talking about swapping houses. He said, I'll tell you what, I'll trade you this house, for the one I started up there. But see, I had 20 acres of land with him. He'd give me that. But, and I told him, well, I don't know about that. We swapped. I said, well, I need some more land. Maybe I'm going to fill the house later. He said, I'll give you another 20 acres. And he told me where it'd be out there where mine was, where you go to his house, first field you come to. And I got that house and that 20 acre land for the other house and 20 acre land. And he moved up there and built onto the house. And then I tore this house down there where it was. I don't know who owns that. Had 1 acre of land there. Mm-hmm. I don't know who owns it anymore. I ain't known it. And we tore it down though and built a house out of the same material. I guess it's pretty well the same except for changing the room. It was 4 houses just like that. Mm-hmm. And I made one side over here, 3 rows, and 2 over there. From that reach from there up yonder. But swapped out that way.
This was about what year?
I guess it's before Sharon was born, but it was Butch was still a kid. No, I guess both of them time I tore this down because we lived up there a while if he was walking. It's before Sharon was born. But we cleared and burned a stump out about the hole about that big, and he's still in that and he's still burning down there. Burned it bad, burned his foot hard, bad. I didn't think he'd ever walk, but he got over it. But him and I ended up going across there and he slipped in that hole. His luck and have it, I was right. I think I was right. I run grabbed him. Did I run grab him or you grabbed him?
That was about 39.
Well, I don't know, but was I there when he fell in his fire? Was I in there when he fell in the fire? In the
No.
hole?
No.
Well, you the one who grabbed him up out of there. That burned his foot
Well,
up.
he had been taking a nap when I was working in the garden.
Yeah, clean off
There in the
the
garden.
Yeah, clearing the garden.
And where I had burned the stump, the roots were still burning. And when he stepped on that, it sunk down and it was still hot in there.
Burned
Burned
his
his,
foot.
his toes, the ball of his foot real bad.
But she run and grabbed him up. I knew one of them grabbed him up. She run and grabbed him up out of there. And I don't know what she put on him, but had to put some weight. You know, them days you didn't run to the doctor. You put whatever you do. She put grease on it or something. Probably saved his foot. Oh yeah, there's a lot of things.
Okay, well that's the teens, the 20s and 30s. Where were you 40s, 50s, 60s on?
Here.
Here?
I've been here since 48.
Is that when you started the shop?
No, I had a shop up there. I moved down here whole, moved this house whole.
Moved. You were in Holly Springs and then
Oh,
moved.
down there between there, right there, we're talking about between the house, between the road
You
and
know where
Papa
they go squirrel camping.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what I meant. Out towards Holly Springs, out towards Uncle John's house.
Well, see,
Yeah.
I did a 16 by 28 room, and I done a whole lot of mechanics in there. We lived there, and during some of the time, when I went to the apartment, we lived up there in 2 or 3 different places, and moved back down there, and I'd work, and then I went to Tinman and worked for the same company up there that I had before. 4.5 years I put in for them, and come back and set up business in to stay there, and I stayed from 45 to 48, all told, and moved down here in 48. Butcher's little kid, who was 14 years old. But I worked every way in the world, day and night, to pay for this, because Papa said I couldn't do it. Said I couldn't ever pay for something like that, but I borrowed the money from First Federal and bought this land. And I was about to lose it. Didn't have no money, seen him about to lose it the whole time. So I went to that old man over there again that had that First Federal and told him what I was up against, and I asked him could I get an extended loan. And I done paid down right smart. Well, he moved it back up to the same price, and I got, I don't know how much money, but was pay him $15 a month, no, $45 a month for 1 year. And then I was paying $15 a year for 4 years, I believe it was. And in the meantime, I got this job out here in the area, And whenever I paid off them that $45 one year, I didn't stop. I just kept paying 45, so I paid the rest of it up. And I never was so glad of something in my life, and I got this paid for. And I haven't bought much since there on credit. I guess it was equipment when I was older. I seen how I could pay for them. But we didn't ever even buy groceries. Don't tell you yet very much. Never do. If we had a credit, we wouldn't buy nothing. We hadn't bought any gasoline or nothing like that on credit. Just, but then though, everybody then didn't have no money in the bank. They had payday mostly every week. I got a payday every Saturday morning. Whenever we moved, we went down here and lived in a little house at Starnes, it was Uncle Harvey then. And I worked at Chevrolet place in 41. So, worked the whole year, 41 for Chevrolet. And then Zion, this, that, and other working wherever I could get something to do. And we stayed at that little house up there. And went back and went to work bank. I stayed for them for a little over 6 years. I mean, over past 6 years, not 6 years ago. Done put in one for Chevrolet. But when I told Carl Williams, whenever I went to work for him, one thing for sure, when them Japs give up, if they ever did, I'm going to give up too. I'm not going to fight this thing that hard. And whenever they give up on Friday, and I was out in the woods working on a truck at Tennessee, and found out about it, and I didn't ever go back the next day. I think that's what it was. On Friday anyhow, when I was over there working out. I don't have this drug. That might have been right when it might have been before that, before the Japs gave up. It did it on the day that I was working. No. But I didn't. When I come back, Gerald Parham was running the store and keeping up everything, books and everything. And well, if we was out at night, we'd go by there and report to him. Of course, I wasn't working but a week, but them other boys was working the hour. I was working by the week, and I didn't make no difference. If I worked my night a day, it didn't change my payday. But I went by and told Gerald, tell Carl I wouldn't be back. He said, "Why?" I said, I told him whenever the Japs give up, I wouldn't come back, and that we had got the word to do. Give up. About 2-3 days after that, I went back Monday or Tuesday sometime, borrowed a foreign bar. I bought a pickup for myself because I was trying to work for Guy Beard when he cut down Smade and moved to Beard. I worked for him, I guess, something like 6 months, maybe 4 months or something, before I went to Tinley. And I couldn't get along with him. He didn't have no sense. I don't reckon he ever did. I had that fleet of trucks that I'd been keeping all that time, almost 4 years. And they hadn't, I knew what they had and everything, and I rebuilt motors, and the motors I built had proved that they held up longer than a brand new one, because I used better material. I used new rings, held up longer than the originals. And went over there and first and went to use oil. We ain't gonna have none of that fixing stuff. We're gonna put a new motor in there. I tried to tell him I could fix them better than it was new ones. He wouldn't have that. No, we're gonna use no parts, nothing but new parts. Suits me, because I'm gonna get a lot less to work. And he got a new motor and I put it in there. I don't know, me and him kept staying across one day. Pete McKenzie, nigger who died up in Amy, worked for me all the time. He was my helper. And we, one day I had a company pickup down there back and forward and hauling people from up there down there to ride back and forwards to work. I put a radio in that truck. And every time after I done that, them niggers want to use the truck.
Excuse me.
They'd go to him and
That's okay.
he'd let them have his my truck. One day I didn't go to dinner right when I aimed to. Boy, it was mountain. I was keeping up a sawmill, and he had to do something at noon. And I helped him because he needs some help because it's gonna take him more than an hour if he didn't do it by himself. So I helped him just in time to get the mill going again at 1 o'clock. And we walked out, get my truck and go eat dinner. And my truck had gone. Old Summerall was out there, and I said, "Where's my truck?" Made me mad because the nigga had, and every time they get what he wanted to call the radio in. He said, "It don't make any difference. You don't have any truck. That's my truck." I said, "It's been assigned to me." He said, "Something else about it." I said, "I'll tell you what you can do. When he comes dig back, you can take him and go to hell with him." I said, "All I want is my radio and tools." And when they got back, I just took it to the shop, took my radio out, picked up everything that belonged to me. And George Jr. keep books for him with the deal over at Smead too. No, he done moved to Holly Springs, but he carried me on home. And next door I went to him, told Carl what happened. I didn't tell him when I got there. He thought I'd come over and visit him. And let's go out to the woods where we've got some logs. And he had his woodsman with him. We got in his car and went over looking at some logs. And that guy walked off way, looked at us, said about getting the road and get around where trucks come around and pick up logs, go up an old railroad line. I told him what happened. He hollered and told him to come in quick. Got in that car and he tore it out over at where we mill and let us out, and he took off and went to Fort Dodge. In the meantime, Summerall went to county and tried to put me in the Army. I had working on a relief, and he come back and got mad and shown up again. I told him, "It won't tell him a damn thing." He said, where are you registered?" I said, "That ain't any of your damn business." And he got mad and went to Fort Dodge. He told him, "Just put me in the Army. I wouldn't work like I was supposed to." I just went to see Carl and told Carl what happened Monday morning. He jumped in that car and went to Fort Dodge. When he come back, he had me a permanent deferment instead of one every month. Up to then, they'd been sending me one every month. And I had one deferment permanent. And I didn't have to worry about it no more. He was a heck of a guy. But after I went home, went to working, they had a heister, big old high thing, and go up, straddle a load of lumber, and the sides come in like that and pick it up, go carry it away on wherever they wanted to. Had wheels, they were about this high, but it had a stem on up here. So when you sit up there on the high of that thing, and brakes went out on it, and they never could get to work no more. And Pete had stayed over there when I went to work for Carl, and he told that guy, son-in-law, said, "Mr. Ernest, fix it." Son-in-law said he wouldn't fix it for me. He said, "Will for me." He said, "He's not bad, nobody. He just don't ain't going to put up with none of that kind of stuff." Summerall realized that he done played hell. Of course, he made a remark to somebody else. Well, Ted had, Mr. Garland, one of his talking. said they could have paid me double pay to keep me rather than let the guy they put over there because he was wasting stuff. Every time that somebody come to see if somebody wants to sell some parts, come by there about the door every week. And he'd bring him or a hay paint. He'd give him a big order and he'd take new stuff and put it through it in a bunch of tires and a stack of tires back there where we tried to run them and we couldn't get the tires. Whatever tires we got, we run them till they blowed out. And that's when he made that Mark saying that he could have paid me double and kept me there. He'd been better off. He finally gave up to that. Well, but Pete told him, said, well, he'll fix it if you ask him. I'll ask him. And he asked him, well, he asked him. And I come by talking to him. He said, told me what it again. I said, yeah, I'll be over here Sunday morning and on Saturday. I was talking to him. And I went over on Sunday and let the damn lines out. They just long lines, and they thought they were bleeding them, but they wasn't bleeding them. And I took a quart of fluid, pour in it, and a thing that drained out into the same jar back to the surgery in the main center, and they bent out down here at the bottom and pumped that quart of fluid through all 4 wheels, just like that. He wouldn't pay me. I told him he didn't owe me anything. I said, you've got something I need that you will never use. He said, what's that? I said, that boring machine. I'd used over there. It was an old one. Well, I mean old, ain't no 50 years old. He said, well, I'll give it to you if you not gonna use it. I said, you can't use it. Ain't nobody in the country use it, but I can. I said, I can bore a machine. And I carried it home with me, and meantime, I done bored this truck that I had it good, and I kept it over and used it. I might have had it within, I don't know. But I let Fred Brazil borrow it then. I wish I had it back now. I'd like to have it. I could do a good job. Just took a lot of time. But he said on the banks without any shelter over it. It rained on it. He rushed the time I got it back. He's rained. Now whatever come with it, but it wasn't worth a darn.
Let's see, that's going to end on what year?
Well, that ended in when I on this born bar was about 50.
Just trying to get an idea about where we were.
Well, this was after I still up there, but I was trying to get ready to move down in it. When the year Sharon was born. Well, Kay was born right after that, I believe. I don't know just what years I quit then. Yeah, it was 46. Yeah, whenever I left. Yeah. Of course, I had that shop there a while and then moved down here and so on in 48. Back then, I worked at apartments. There was some one shops that I had worked before, but I wasn't making no money, and I didn't stay there long. 2 or 3 months, so went through a whole winter. I didn't have no other place to go. When it got where I could get along, I left. What you writing about?
I'm just trying to follow the trail where we moved.
What do you mean, where? This apartment or over Hope?
I'd forgotten Sparkman.
Well, we went to Hope with Papa whenever he moved his mill over there. And moved that mill just about 4 or 5 times. And then I went to work at JR.
We started the house, we worked at Sparkman.
Let's see, we covered 40-something years in an hour and a little bit more than that, so I'm going to call it quits on this bit, and I may come back to you sometime.
All right, well, yeah, I guess it would. I started off on 7 years with it.
You started off close to, yeah, so it was 40.
4 years?